This is the delightful head of the Clampett family, Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies, Irene Ryan. Ever find yourself chuckling at the notion of a hillbilly family suddenly submerged in Beverly Hills luxury? Well, that's the delightful paradox that the Beverly Hillbillies offered its audience. Mr. Brewster throwed his arms around me and helped me in his strong embrace. Premiering on CBS in 1962, this groundbreaking sitcom was more than just comedic misadventures. It was a lens into societal contrasts, making us question our assumptions about simplicity versus luxury. For many, this show wasn't just evening entertainment. It was a nostalgic trip, a whirlwind of laughter and subtle lessons on life's simplicities. But who were the faces behind this magic and what became of them? Let's dive in, setting the stage, the Beverly Hillbillies in a nutshell. It was the autumn of 1962 when America's television screens lit up with a new kind of comedy, a show that would challenge our notions of rich and poor, city and country, sophistication and simplicity. The Beverly Hillbillies, as its name suggests, cleverly juxtaposed two worlds that rarely, if ever, met in the corridors of popular entertainment. The show's captivating premise revolved around the Clampett family. These weren't your typical protagonists. They were simple country folks, living a tranquil life in their mountain cabin. Their existence was hardly noteworthy until, quite unexpectedly, they stumbled upon black gold, oil. As the story goes, the government found this rich deposit of oil in their backyard, suddenly making the Clampetts inconceivably wealthy. This unforeseen fortune led to their displacement and subsequent relocation to an opulent mansion in none other than Beverly Hills, California. Imagine, if you will, the hilarity that ensues when a family, more at home chasing critters and whittling wood, is thrown into the epicenter of America's high society. The Clampetts' transition to their new surroundings was a far cry from smooth, and their naive interactions with their chic neighbors became a consistent source of comedy. There were lavish parties where Granny, ever the traditionalist, would mistake the pool for a cement pond, or Jethro would endeavor to find a schooling place to get some book learning. The laughs were endless, but so were the messages hidden beneath the surface. At its core, the Beverly Hillbillies wasn't just about a country family navigating their newfound wealth. It was about the myriad of misunderstandings and misadventures they faced while trying to fit into a society that often looked down upon them. While the Clampetts were initially viewed as uncouth and out of place by their posh neighbors, their genuine nature, unyielding family values, and unwavering moral compass gradually won many over. In their own unintentional way, they began teaching Beverly Hills a thing or two about the importance of kindness, honesty, and the joys of a simpler life. This theme of not underestimating individuals based on their background, education, or apparent sophistication resonated deeply with the viewers. The show managed to craft episodes that not only evoked laughter, but also reflected a society often caught in its superficial judgments. Jed Clampett, the family's patriarch, despite his lack of urban savvy, often turned out to be the wisest of them all, his insights cutting through the pretenses of Beverly Hills elites. Another refreshing layer to the show was its ability to portray the Clampetts without making them the butt of all jokes. Sure, they had their quirks, but the humor never felt derogatory. Instead, it was a celebration of their uniqueness, their unwavering identity, and their ability to remain unfazed by the glitz and glamour that now surrounded them. The influence the Beverly Hillbillies had on its audience was undeniable. In an era where many sitcoms were grounded in urban settings with city-centric issues, this show was a breath of fresh mountain air. The show reminded viewers of the values that are often forgotten in the race to get ahead: the beauty of simplicity, the strength of family bonds, and the wisdom that often comes from unexpected places. While its primary objective was entertainment, the subtle lessons it imparted were a beautiful bonus. As the Clampetts grappled with their Beverly Hills life, viewers were reminded of the importance of staying true to oneself, regardless of the surroundings or societal pressures. The show underscored the idea that wealth doesn't necessarily bring wisdom, and sophistication doesn't guarantee superiority. Over its 9-season run, these messages, wrapped in humor, became central to the show's charm. By the time the Beverly Hillbillies concluded its run in 1971, it had left an indelible mark on American television history. It wasn't just a sitcom. It was a commentary, a reflection, and most importantly, a celebration of the diversity of the human spirit. The Clampetts, in all their hillbilly glory, had become the heartbeats of many households, teaching America to appreciate the charm in every clash of cultures. Irene Ryan, the fiery granny, and her legacy. When we think of the Clampetts of the Beverly Hillbillies, each character brings a distinct flavor to the ensemble. And amidst this unforgettable cast stood a petite yet indomitable figure, Granny. Portrayed by the talented Irene Ryan, Granny was more than just the matriarch of the family. She was its feisty soul. Irene Ryan was not a newcomer when she landed the role of Daisy Mae Granny Moses. Her career had an auspicious start long before the Hillbillies descended upon Beverly Hills. At the tender age of 11, she tasted her first victory, winning a singing contest. This win wasn't just a momentary achievement for young Irene. It was a beacon that illuminated her path into the world of entertainment. The vaudeville stages of the early 20th century were rife with talent and competition. Breaking through required more than just skill. It demanded passion, persistence, and a touch of serendipity. For Irene, her entry into vaudeville was through a double-act performance alongside her husband. The pair dazzled audiences, laying the foundation for what would become a long and illustrious career. However, the allure of the silver screen is hard to resist, and soon Irene found herself exploring roles in films and television. While she graced many projects with her talent, it was the Beverly Hillbillies that would immortalize her in the annals of television history. As Granny, Irene gave us a character who was fiercely protective of her kin, stubborn in her beliefs, and unapologetically herself. Whether she was concocting her famous rheumatism medicine or chasing city folks with her trusty shotgun, Granny was a force to reckon with. But beneath that tough exterior was a heart of gold, always ready to mend rifts and offer sagely advice. Irene's portrayal was so compelling that she earned 2 Emmy nominations for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series. But portraying Granny was just one chapter in Irene's diverse career. She was also a celebrated figure in Broadway and vaudeville, demonstrating her versatility across different mediums. Beyond the stage and screen, radio was another arena where she shone brightly. With her unique voice and impeccable comedic timing, she carved a space for herself in a domain dominated by male voices. However, like many artists, Irene's life wasn't devoid of vice. Off the set, she was known for her smoking habit, a detail often remarked upon by her peers. Max Baer Jr., who played the lovable Jethro Bodine, once commented on her penchant for cigarettes, recalling how she smoked like a chimney. As often happens, these personal habits, seemingly innocuous in their time, cast long shadows over an individual's health. In 1973, during a stage performance of Pippin, tragedy struck. Irene suffered a stroke, a heartbreaking moment for a woman whose life was dedicated to the arts. The hospital diagnosis further deepened the concern, revealing a malignant brain tumor. On April 26th of that year, the world bid adieu to the fiery Granny, with Irene Ryan passing away at 70. Today, when we revisit episodes of the Beverly Hillbillies, Granny stands out as a beacon of strength, wisdom, and hilarity. But beyond the confines of the show, Irene Ryan's journey serves as a reminder of the passion and tenacity that defines true artists. From the vaudeville stages to the television sets, she danced to the rhythms of her heart, leaving behind footprints that continue to inspire. Irene's demise was a blow to the entertainment industry, but her legacy as Granny and her vast body of work ensure that she will always remain alive in our memories. A spirited hillbilly in Beverly Hills, a trailblazing woman in Hollywood, Irene Ryan's story is a blend of talent, resilience, and an indomitable spirit that will continue to resonate for generations to come. Buddy Ebsen, the reluctant patriarch. In the realm of classic television, few characters possess the same heartwarming simplicity and deep-seated wisdom as Jed Clampett. The lanky, affable patriarch of the Clampett family stands tall, not just due to his imposing stature, but because of the genuineness Buddy Ebsen infused into the role. However, the journey of Ebsen stepping into Jed's worn-out shoes is dotted with serendipity and unexpected twists. The tale of how Buddy Ebsen almost missed the iconic role seems almost fictional in itself. Initially, the part of Jed Clampett was not meant for him. He was, in fact, not the first choice. There were a few well-known names floating in the mix, but a string of coincidences and a tinge of destiny led the producers to reconsider their choices. When the role was finally offered to Ebsen, he wasn't immediately sold on the concept. But like any seasoned actor, Buddy recognized the potential in Paul Henning's creation and decided to breathe life into the compassionate, yet sometimes bewildered character of Jed Clampett. From the outset, Buddy's dedication to making Jed authentic was evident. He wanted the audience to see Jed not just as a hillbilly who struck it rich, but as a loving father, a wise elder, and a kind-hearted soul navigating a world so different from his own. Ebsen dived deep into his reservoir of life experiences, often pulling from his own upbringing during the Great Depression to lend authenticity to Jed's character. His interpretation of Jed was less of a caricature and more of a tribute to the many hard-working folks Buddy had known in his youth. However, the Beverly Hillbillies was just one illustrious chapter in Buddy Ebsen's expansive career. Before Jed, he was already a name to reckon with. Ebsen's dancing skills in particular were legendary. In fact, many remember him dancing alongside the iconic Shirley Temple in movies during the 1930s. Furthermore, his initial brush with stardom was set to be in the role of the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. But a severe allergic reaction to the aluminum powder makeup for the character nearly cost him his life and resulted in him being replaced. Beyond the silver screen, Ebsen's resume included numerous roles on television. After the Beverly Hillbillies, he seamlessly transitioned into the titular role in Barnaby Jones, a detective series that showcased his versatility as an actor. No longer was he just the naive hillbilly, he was now a sharp-witted, keen-eyed detective, and audiences loved him for it. In personal life, Buddy Ebsen was a mosaic of talents. He wasn't just an actor, he was a published author, a skilled sailor, and a dedicated family man. As the years rolled on and his time in Hollywood began to wind down, Ebsen sought solace in simpler pleasures. He took to painting and even dabbled in sculpting, letting his creativity flow in diverse directions. Buddy Ebsen's exit from the world was reflective of the life he led, peaceful and graceful. On July 6, 2003, at the age of 95, Ebsen bid farewell, leaving behind a legacy that spanned multiple generations. His was a life that bore testament to the adage that it's never about the length but the depth of life that truly counts. Reflecting upon his journey, one can only marvel at the tapestry of roles Buddy Ebsen wove. From a dancing prodigy to the patriarch of the Clampett clan, to a keen detective, and finally to a serene artist, Ebsen's journey was nothing short of cinematic. And just like Jed, he left an indelible mark, reminding us of the simple joys and profound wisdom that life often presents in its unassuming moments. Nancy Culp. From journalism to comedy to politics. Nancy Culp's story is a striking narrative of a woman's journey that defied conventions and expectations. From journalism to Hollywood, and eventually into the realm of politics. Culp's life was a testament to her versatility, determination, and the spirit of always pushing one's boundaries. Before she ever appeared on screen, Nancy was carving out a niche for herself in the journalistic world. She embarked on her professional journey as a writer with the Miami Beach Tropics, delving into stories, interviewing personalities, and weaving narratives. With a sharp mind and a gift for words, it looked like journalism was her destined path. But fate, as is often the case, had other plans. Her arrival in Hollywood was somewhat of a twist. At first, her roles were minor, and her talent often overshadowed by the star-studded milieu of Hollywood's golden age. Yet, Culp's determination was unwavering, and it was her role as Miss Jane Hathaway in the Beverly Hillbillies that would catapult her to stardom. The prim, ever-efficient, and somewhat lovelorn secretary to banker Milburn Drysdale, Miss Hathaway was a character that audiences adored. Culp, with her impeccable comedic timing and unique screen presence, made Miss Hathaway a household name. Nancy's portrayal of Miss Hathaway was layered. On the surface, she was the no-nonsense secretary. But as the series progressed, Culp added depth to the character. She showcased Miss Hathaway's vulnerabilities, her affections for Jethro, and her constant efforts to bridge the gap between the Clampetts' hillbilly ways and Beverly Hills' sophistication. It was a role that required finesse, and Nancy Culp delivered in spades. But while Hollywood was a significant chapter in Nancy Culp's life, it wasn't the last. After her stint on the Beverly Hillbillies, she turned her attention to another passion: politics. Inspired by the need for change and equipped with the celebrity status she had gained, Culp set her sights on the U.S. House of Representatives. Running as a Democrat in Pennsylvania in 1984, her campaign garnered significant attention. Although she didn't secure a win, Culp's foray into politics was emblematic of her belief in always seeking new avenues and challenges. Life, however, wasn't always kind to Nancy Culp. Her battle with cancer was a testament to her enduring spirit and resilience. Even as she faced the toughest challenge of her life, she did so with grace and determination. Her public acknowledgement of her illness was brave and shed light on the importance of regular checkups and early detection. And though she succumbed to the disease in 1991, her fight against it was nothing short of heroic. Her life story serves as a powerful reminder of the endless possibilities that await.